Hello everyone. Let's talk about one of the world's most famous composers, Ludwig van
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. If you were curious of what I was going to say, well, it was.
Ludwig van Beethoven.
But if you weren't, now you know. Let's have a new beginning, and we shall call it the amazing. No. The spectacular. No. The great adventure of Ludwig van Beethoven.
Dr. Pepper.
Yes, my paper on Beethoven is finally complete. I wonder what that's doing open. Let me just close that out. Whoa, that's bright. That's really bright. What's going on? What? Oh no!
Where am I? Whoa. What's the camera doing here? What? Where am I? Ah! Oops. Hello? Who goes there? I'm Wesley. Who are you? I'm Ludwig van Beethoven. Hey, I just wrote a paper about you. Why would you write a paper about me? I'm Ludwig van Beethoven the Third. Not the first. If you're writing about the first, I could give you information about it. Sure, I'm up for it. Okay then, let's go! Okay, let's get down to business. Ludwig van Beethoven was born in Bonn, Germany, in December 16th, 1770. Beethoven's father, who was a singer, happened to be his first teacher. Beethoven's father himself was actually his main influence on music. Beethoven started music ever since he could touch the pedals on the piano. Even though his father was a good composer and singer, he wasn't a good teacher. He would abuse Beethoven and keep him up so late that it would be impossible for Beethoven to wake up the next morning. The next morning, he would still be working on his compositions because his father would force him to. It's not like Beethoven didn't like it, it's just he thought it was too hard. The abuse that was given towards Beethoven could have been from his father's drinking problem. One day, Beethoven's father thought Beethoven needed a new, fresher, brighter teacher. So one day, Beethoven's father was taken out of the picture, and his new teacher And his wait, what? Christian Gottlob Neef was brought into the picture. Neef was a much better teacher than Beethoven's father. Beethoven now knew how to play the piano like a pro. Neef thought Beethoven was so good at playing the piano that Neef left Beethoven in charge of entire orchestras when he had to be elsewhere. Neef also taught Beethoven how to play the organ and the viola. Neef also helped Beethoven write his first piece of music. In 1787, young Beethoven decided to travel to Vienna, hoping to meet and study with the famous Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Studies show it's not clear if he actually ever succeeded to ever meeting Mozart, but most likely he did. I mean, Beethoven was amazing. But Beethoven soon had to return to Bonn because her mother died. Beethoven was only 17 years old. Hello, Beethoven. I'm just gonna take your mother to heaven now, okay? Bye. Years later, Beethoven returned to Vienna to continue studying the ways of music. It was this time that Beethoven had started writing some of his best compositions he has ever written. Sadly, it was at this time when Beethoven had started going deaf. To aid his deafness, Beethoven had to have a giant horn sticking out of his ear. It didn't specifically look like that, but it definitely aided his hearing. Despite his deafness, Beethoven continued writing compositions. He would put his ear up to the piano and feel the vibrations of each key. This would tell him what note that he had played. One of Beethoven's most famous pieces, actually one of the most famous pieces in music history, was the Fifth Symphony. It was obviously a symphony from the title, and here's a little clipping of it. Another one of Beethoven's most famous pieces was the Pathetic Sonata. This was obviously a sonata from the title, and here's a clipping from it. Another one of Beethoven's most famous pieces was another piece called Für Elise. This was a solo piano, and here's another clipping. This will be the final clipping. In 1827, Beethoven died. He was so young. Actually, he wasn't that young. He was actually... Hold on one second. Here we go. He was 57. Beethoven will truly be remembered as one of the world's greatest composers. That is all the information that I can currently give you right now. Have you learned anything today? Yes, I have learned that Beethoven was one of the world's greatest composers. Now I can finally add some information to my paper and get some amazing extra credit. Thank you. I just have one question. What is it, Wesley? How am I supposed to get back? That's easy. Just go back to bed, and then you will soon wake up back at your humble dwelling. Okay, I'm gonna sleep now. Bye, Beethoven.
Now let me add the extra information that Beethoven gave me.